We are the Jinx Project. We are an organization that we are dedicated to worldwide urban adventure. We're here to explore. We're here to find out information about the urban environments for the public good. We've climbed the Brooklyn Bridge, we've climbed the Manhattan Bridge, gone into the subway tunnels underneath the city, the rooftop of Grand Central Station where we've been arrested. Any place within the city that people don't realize is there, we're interested in exploring. Danger is all around us.
I was obliged to climb the Manhattan Bridge, for instance, in the pouring rain. And it's at moments like that that you examine what you're doing and you say, Christ, I really am an idiot.
The Jinx Project is involved in a lot of different activities, but one thing that we felt was always kind of missing with the Jinx Project is creating a social arena. So the project meets once a month at the Gershwin Hotel. I'd like to welcome you all here. Right now I'd like to introduce Timothy Speed Levitch and his one and only manifesto. Let's hear it.
That's the opening. New York City is a great teacher, dropping life lessons upon a mostly slow-learning population. I think Jinx is an organization and a great parody of an organization all at once. And I think the understanding that what the 20th century has led to is absurdity.
And every time we hang the Jinx flag, whether at the top of a bridge or whether on the facade of Grand Central Station, we are telling the friends of Jinx that they have an ally. And we are telling the enemies of Jinx that they had best seek cover. I think that when you look in the newspaper or you turn on the TV news, and you can really honestly sit back and say, we have Jinx to thank for the way that the world is today. North Brother Island is presently a kind of a blank space in our networks. Typhoid Mary was imprisoned there in a sanitarium. It's also interesting, on the very same small island, the greatest single maritime disaster in New York City history occurred. Over 1,000 lives were lost when a ship ran aground. And of course, where disaster occurs, the Jinx Project can never be more than a century or so behind.
There goes our boat. We had such a hard time finding a way to get onto this island. There's no public transportation. Luckily, an associate of the Jinx Project had managed to infiltrate the New York City Parks Department, and we gained access to this island.
This appears to be the hospital. Old gynecological table. Typhoid Mary herself walked these walls and floors.
It's a records. Baked beans, tomato soup, clam chowder, vanilla extract. 1955. I think it's another nest. 6, 7/8.
Illustrated book written at a child's level. John went out with Mary. He caught syphilis from her. Syphilis is spread by sexual intercourse. Let me out! In order for a place to be a meaningful target for our exploration, it has to be off limits. Merely because if it were not off limits, then everyone would be there. And if everyone were there, then it would not be virgin territory to be explored.
We want to explore some place that is kind of beyond the vision or beyond the daily experience of most people.
These are not unjust laws. These laws are there for the public safety and the protection of the general population. We just don't feel that they really apply to us. You know, we're highly trained professionals here. The physical space that one sees beyond the lip of a building's ledge, it appears to be an empty space. But it is not empty. It is filled in a spiritual sense with death. It's a powerful thing to realize that I could step one pace forward off the side of that bridge into what Shakespeare called the undiscovered country.
You know, urban exploration basically means looking at the cities that we live in a new light. We're very interested at the Jinx Project, trying to understand if there's actually a hidden world or a hidden frontier, either in the rooftops or in the subway tunnels. And the hope is that by going into these places and exploring them, that we can apply that curiosity towards our life in general and thereby enrich ourselves and other members of the project.
Long live danger. Long live Jinx.
My name is Robert Wogan, and I've been exploring abandoned places for over 20 years. As a kid growing up in New York City, I loved going into abandoned places, and there were a lot of them. This is something that I would do because I couldn't believe how things could just be left alone. I didn't know why they were left alone, but it was so curious to find out why anybody would leave a building abandoned, or a piece of machinery, or a boat, or an ocean liner. It just, how could something no longer have use? So much so that it was just left there without any reason. So, as I grew older, my interest in abandonment and these particular places led me to create artwork around them. And my artwork centered around videos that I took in abandoned places. And I would do some work, I'd learn about the place, and then I would create a site-specific installation based on the abandonment. I also did lighting projects. And I did these lighting projects to attract attention to things, to these abandoned spaces, which I still thought had life, because that's what I believe. And I would light them like these train cars behind me to give them another 5 minutes of fame. Because at some point, this real estate or this property will become valuable, and these will either get scrapped, or if they are repurposed, then something will be made of them. So I love abandoned spaces because of the paint, in this particular case, of how it's going back to the earth, of how this once was so important to the commerce of this area, because this was the way you got to the Catskills. And now these sit abandoned here with no particular place to go. I love it because hundreds of thousands of people drive by every day and they look at this, and this just sits here. The people who come are usually vagrants or children who want to do graffiti, drink and hang out, but you can still feel the energy in this space. You can feel that this had a purpose, and people spent many, many hours on this train going to the Catskills. And it's this kind of like questions and wonder that make me interested in these places. I mean, I'm passionate to find out why, you know, and what happened, and how did this train end up here? You know, I am constantly reminded of the purpose of this place, but I have to look where I'm going. But it's hard to explain why. One of the other things that I love about abandoned places is how nature comes back and takes over. I just saw a bird fly out right here. There's a little bird living in this nest. And fortunately, we didn't find out who's sleeping here. But I love abandoned spaces. I love to talk about them. I love to think about them. And I do think there's a place in this world for it. I also think that people are truly interested in abandoned spaces. It's just that it scares them. They don't it's out of their comfort zone to come to these places, to walk around. They want to, but it isn't something that they're going to do themselves. It's something that they need to be led to. This is what brought my artwork on, because I wanted to share these spaces with people. And I felt that my way of sharing was the right way, to bring it through art. But I do think that people all want to know why. Because we're all scared of obsolescence, and we're all scared of abandonment. So, to bring this to the public would be great. And that's what I did, and I'd love to see it happen.
I really can't think of a situation that I've been put in so far that's made me this nervous. How you doing?
Hey, good.
Curt Doussett.
Randy Couture.
Nice to meet you, Randy.
Nice to meet you.
I don't know what I'm gonna do to relax. You know, this goes against every instinct I have to hit somebody else that hasn't done anything to me, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to flatter myself to think that I could actually sneak one in and hit you, but if I did, I'm sure I'm gonna go, oh my gosh, are you okay? I'm sorry.
Everybody gets hit. This guy's gonna hit you.
About 10 seconds?
That was done.
Wow. How's your hand?
What do I like about the fall? It's not the trick-or-treating, it's not the leaves, it's not even the pumpkin pie, it's the college football.
This is so cool.
It was time to deal with our last problem area on the mountain.
Good shot. Confirmed. Yeah. Confirmed. That's quite possibly the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. Good shooting, Tex.
Now you've seen it, I think you're ready.
To do it
think
myself?
you're ready? Yeah.
Well, no.
Let's get your mask on and let's do it.
Oh boy.
Can't even... How do you reach it?
There you go. You're breathing like you're exhausted. You haven't even gone to the net yet.
Now he's even more wound up than he was
Good.
before we took him out of the
Then
box.
I'll get him out.
Okay, all right.
Oh, no, I wasn't a high five. That's shaking. Is this where I grab him?
Yep, but you want to pull it towards you a little bit more.
Whoa.
That's fine. You're doing fine. There you go.
You don't want to cut some more?
No.
All right.
Okay, we're good. I'm down. I got a little tangled up. Not sure what they had set for me down there, but it was an ugly landing.
It's like a tiger trap.
And your life depends on this knot.
I feel pretty comfortable with the knots, and then I tried my first one.
Always want to winch it up tight.
What did I do wrong? What happens if, say, I have to use the restroom?
You can tell the guys down here to look out, or you can...
That's gonna be a hazard for someone, I'll tell you that.
I had practically forgotten we were here for a reason.
Our goal is to get on that platform safely and start working.
Good Lord, don't try this at home, folks. Leave this to the professionals and the idiots. Hey, John, this is Curt. Is there any way you can de-energize the line for us?
Yes, sir. Give me a minute to get down there.
Take your time. It's nice.